After trending #1 on YouTube, Tears of the Kingdom's final trailer brought a definitive end to the debate over whether it's going to be too similar to Breath of the Wild. Aside from its expansive story, new locations, and additional enemies, a big thing that sets Talk apart from its predecessor is Link's arm abilities. Of these, perhaps the most interesting is Fuse, which allows players to combine items in their inventory to create a seemingly infinite number of fascinating new weapon combinations. As innovative as the Fuse ability is, it's actually not the first time that it's been featured in a Zelda title. An early version of Fuse, albeit in a much less intuitive form, was featured in the Dynasty Warriors and Zelda mashup, Hyrule Warriors. Tracking the weapon fusion mechanic from this infantile stage into what it has become in Tears of the Kingdom provides insight into how interesting new ideas evolve into groundbreaking gameplay mechanics. Fuse was an important aspect of the Hyrule Warriors series. In Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, powerful weapons can have a strong impact on the difficulty level of the late game just as they did in Breath of the Wild. In order to ensure Link and the champion's equipment is up to par, players could use the Fuse engine to combine multiple weapons to make them even stronger. Hyrule Warriors Fuse is very straightforward. After unlocking the blacksmith, players are able to fuse up to 5 weapons to one base weapon in order to level it up and enhance its attack power. Fusing 2 weapons together can also transfer one of the seals, a special ability, from a weapon used as material to give the wielder an added stat boost. While it's also an important feature to utilize in the original Hyrule Warriors, Fuse was especially notable in Age of Calamity because it not only underlined the fact that players wouldn't have to worry about the weapon durability mechanic that plagued its predecessor but also provided for some interesting options that just weren't possible in Bottle. For example, players could theoretically use a tree branch or wooden mop as their main weapon for the majority of the game. By leveling it up using Fuse, one of these quirkier weapon choices could be made into a viable weapon in a way that would have been unimaginable in Bottle. Fuse changes the game in Tears of the Kingdom. In Tears of the Kingdom, the concept of fusing weapons has been vastly expanded on. Not only can 2 weapons be combined, but players will be able to fuse other items with weapons and shields as well. For example, during a gameplay demonstration, AGA Onuma showed how Link could fuse a Kisai to an arrow in order to turn it into a homing arrow. Similarly, fusing a ruby to an arrow could turn it into a fire arrow. The possibilities are seemingly endless. 2 of the standout scenes in Talk's celebrated final trailer relate to Fuse specifically. In one shot, Link is shown using a rocket fuse to his shield in order to propel himself skyward at will. In another scene, he is shown with his shield fused to a sword, allowing him to play defense while wielding a 2-handed weapon, which would have been impossible before. The differentiation between these 2 uses of the Fuse ability demonstrates just how dynamic it can be both in and out of combat, an aspect of Fuse that was never explored in Hyrule Warriors. Fuse not only allows players to get creative in putting together unique weapons that are also more powerful, it also helps address one of the biggest criticisms players had with Breath of the Wild, the weapon durability mechanic. In Hyrule Warriors, weapon durability was wisely done away with as it would have entirely broken the combat-heavy gameplay. In Tears of the Kingdom, though, durability is a factor, but it can be bypassed through clever use of the Fuse ability. Zelda's developers have been known to use scrapped ideas in new titles, so the fact that they take a tried-and-true formula from a spin-off and stretch it to its logical extreme in Tears of the Kingdom shouldn't come as any surprise to fans of the series. Instead, the true surprises will undoubtedly come in May, when fans get to see all the crazy contraptions that other players create using Link's new abilities.